Hey, Martin, how
Hey,
are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Happy
Good to see
Geneva
you.
Watch Day.
I know. It's incredible. Who had finally we see people again, you know?
Exactly. That's good. I'm glad to
Social
hear it.
distance, the mask and everything, but except for that, sunshine, all good.
Yeah,
How are you
nice.
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Sorry I can't be there with you. Initially, I was meant to come,
Yes,
but Singapore Airlines canceled my flight. And then we only recently got off the unblocked list last week.
right. Yeah,
So, but I will make my way back to Switzerland at some point.
yeah,
And I
absolutely. We have to go for a fondue or something, do something here.
absolutely. Absolutely. We'll
Yeah,
definitely have to have a fun do it. I'll come and hang out with you in Zurich as well.
yeah,
Have a
that'd
cigar
be
with
great.
you, chill out. I can't wait, actually.
Yeah, actually it felt like this for me when I came here because kind of like the first event since forever, since I don't
Yeah,
know, since
yes.
after or during the phase here, and yeah, it's really I wouldn't have thought that I'd ever miss this, standing around on the carpets here, but it is really something that I enjoy now. Very good.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
interesting because I know I had gone to Dubai, but I know you guys hadn't made it out there. And we, it seems so long ago. Like it seems like another lifetime ago when we were able to mix around in a very convivial and normal and natural way and look at watches. And it's funny that you said that you never thought you would miss it, but and in fact you're right because I used to look at watches and wonders in Basel with some degree of like trepidation, just because it was tiring. And now
Absolutely.
I so much look forward to any of these type of events where we can socialize and really look at watches in our
That's
hands.
that's what it did. It's kind of showing you that what it was actually what we had before.
Yes,
This
yes,
with the fairs, that seem to be all over now, or changing, or we don't
right.
know if it's happening. So it's really I really welcome it that the watch days start here, and it felt already a bit like the beginning of something new, to be honest. And that's a good feeling, to see that things can start again from where we were, or where we are.
That's great. So, Martin, I know we have a couple of watches to discuss for Geneva Watch Days. Maybe we can get started on the Time Hunter, the wonderful Time Hunter, which is this incredible watch that allows you to take an electronic reading of the
Absolutely.
vibrational speed and amplitude of your watch,
Mhm.
and then check it based on a source clock to see if you have any errors, and then you're able to readjust this watch using the setting screw in the back.
That's right.
And it's now in a very cool color that we're calling Desert Sage, if I'm not
The
mistaken.
desert sage, exactly. That's right. Mhm. No, of course. I mean, it's a color version of this watch. This watch we presented already a while ago, but it's great actually to every now and then bring see the watch in a new camouflage, so to say. And yeah, with the desert sage, it's a nice ceramic paint that actually covers the metal. It's like with heat, it actually is somehow burnt in and makes the watch tougher to this. It's actually used for military tools or objects to make them tougher. And then, of course, go along with it because it's an outdoors watch, where you hunt time with. We have the camouflage strap as well, so it's maybe a bit less military, but more hunting, hunting time. So that's
Yeah, that's cool. No, but I love this color scheme as well, and I love it. I always think, well, I guess a lot of the military, shall I put it, maneuvers in the last couple of decades have been in desert situations, and this has
that's right.
become something that has kind of gone from the military and has been transported into kind of a luxury colorway now as well.
Mhm.
And I love the way it looks on watches. I think it looks incredible in this iteration. I like also the strap that you've done. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, I mean the camouflage strap. You can say that camouflage was thought, somehow to hide, to make you disappear. But of course, in fashion, or let's say in the way we use it, of course, it's the opposite. Of course, you wear it not to somehow blend into the greens or the desert in this sense, but of course you make it to give it color. And that's what I
Amazing.
like a lot. That actually this strap next to many Urwerk straps, adds a bit of color, to our palette, and that's something that I like to do more, in fact.
I love how Urwerk manages to take very complex concepts and to make them kind of like understandable and easy to read. So if you look at this watch, of course, you've got the mechanical movement for the time, which you see in the center, hour and minute, with a power reserve for that. And then you see also the seconds on the upper right-hand corner. Then you've got this kind of cool winch-like handle, and that's, powering up the capacitor that operates the measuring device to see whether or not your amplitude is within scope of the reference clock that's inside of there, or whether it deviates, And then I love on the upper left-hand corner, you've got the precision indication to see whether or not you're plus or minus or spot on. And I think it goes up to plus 15 or minus 15 deviation.
That's right.
And then it also shows you what the amplitude of your balance wheel is as well, right? Which is great too. And so you take something that's very, complex, but it makes it easy to understand and fun to use as well. How important is that for you, Martin?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that the face is actually it's more like a control board, like for the movement. That's actually what it started with, and what it still is here with this EMC. And for us, important is that that you engage the person wearing the watch. It kind of bringing him closer to watchmaking, to somehow bring him inside of the watch. So we built in the timing machine, actually, the could say like the god of the watchmaker, that like source of time. And and what we did is actually we built it in so that you can actually do yourself the measurements that needed to make the fine tuning of your watch. So it is interactive. It's something that we like already with the first Urwerk crown. I wanted to somehow emphasize the fact that you give your own energy to the watch, So this moment where you somehow work the watch, that should be something enjoyable and something that you do with pleasure. So it has to be something that is highlighted, and therefore this theme of interactivity, that you have a dialogue with the machine, this of course is something that is very important to us, and we try to somehow come up with different concepts that make you enjoy this.
Amazing. And I know Urwerk is, as the watch I'm wearing, very well known, which I love, for its wandering hour indication. But the first one we looked at is an interesting hybrid of electronic and mechanical technology, and it uses traditional hands. The second watch we'll talk about also uses non-traditional hands, but is still not wandering hour. It is a linear minutes and jump hour. So that is, of course, the 111. Cobra, as we like to call it, because it looks like the hood of a cobra, and it's now in a two-tone version. Tell us a little bit about that watch, Martin.
Well, it was actually an idea that accompanied us for a long time with Urwerk. I did some drawings a long time ago, and then we had our first, it was kind of like an incredible moment when we realized that the ideas that we had from American cars, actually the long speedometers of American cars from the 50s, that was actually inspiration, but also the inspiration of a guy, Gautier, a watchmaker for Patek Philippe, who created this incredible watch. Yes, the Cobra. And so we were giving, our watches names like hammerhead sharks. You remember that? So mean animals, or
201. It's a hammerhead.
Tarantula, or things like that. Yeah. So we just saw that watch, with the name Cobra, and we were like, okay, that's what we wanted to do. And my watchmakers here, they always told me, no, we can't do this. This linear time indication is difficult. But then we saw this watch, and I told them, look, here it is. And they said, but it doesn't work. It's not working. The prototype. They never made it. It's just that only one watch.
Right.
But that, of course, it didn't satisfy us. We wanted to do that concept, and we developed it further. We also created like a cool second on that first Cobra. Back in the days, the CC1. But then, you know, with this watch, one was not able to see actually the moving parts because it, you know, you had like a stairways or so, like steps like that and then the linear indication, and you saw the cylinder underneath that actually moves, you know, the helix spiral along. So with the new watch, I wanted to show that cylinder and how it
Oh,
moves.
cool.
So you have that cylinder at the very edge of the watch, just underneath of the glass. So that was actually the main difference between the first rendition and also for the second here. We did a very special thing. If you look at it, you see the head of a cobra clearly, and you see also that ornament that the cobra has on the back of its head, you know, with the the glasses, so to say, the eyes.
Yeah.
And so it's the window for that moment, that important moment, you know, where we see actually how time passes. That's the second. Actually, that's the most that moment motion of time that shows us that time is passing. So in this sense, the most important aspect of a watch. The second, we see that there in that special window. With Urwerk, with our watches, we don't often do seconds. And so if we do it, it has to be something extraordinary. And there it's actually that ornament of the snake that shows the, you know, the movement or the seconds. And it does it in a way actually like the wheels of a watch that grip into each other like this. You have kind of like a waterfall of seconds there. And underneath of a very cool screen that we built in. So it's always many different ideas that come together to create our cool pieces, you know.
Amazing. And then the last watch I'd like to talk to you about does feature your traditional and signature wandering hour complication. It is well, I guess they're calling it C3PO, correct?
Yes,
so
yes.
The watch is
always,
a 2N yellow gold watch.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could put that up, that'd be lovely. Thank you very much.
Yes, I mean, the UR-100, of course, that's kind of like a step back to the very beginning. I would like to deconstruct, you know, what we did and start it all over again. It's UR-100, therefore, it goes to be in front of, you know, the first two numbers we had, UR-101 and 102. So this is UR-100 with a different case idea. And so you have a very wearable watch that still has very strong presence because it's a big case when you look at it from up front. But it's of course very, you know, reduced case that just shows the plate actually revealing our mechanism. And there's also another nice idea is actually that you have the face, you know, is part of the case and part of also of the mechanism. So you have the cover that helps to show the case and also the mechanism. And it allows us also, if you look at the side, there's like these indications, lateral indications.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. And you can actually there see, you know, how far we travel in the time, you know, that we are sitting like here. You could say our meeting here took 555 kilometers, you know, instead of 20 minutes, you know. So, so we always try to somehow, even if this is like a mechanism that we know, we used in our first watches, we try to further develop it and add. And yeah, this is the evolution of Urwerk.
Yeah, I love the fact that you've included this. And just to go back to what Martin was saying, so on the left-hand side, what you have is an indication along the equator of the amount of distances traveled through the rotation of the globe during 20 minutes, which is the amount of time that it takes for that satellite to cross over that sector of the, well, I can't call it a dial, so sector of indication. Right, and then the other side, you've got an indication for 35,742 kilometers, which is the distance for the Earth as it completes its orbit around the sun. And that's pretty cool too. So that's the amount of time that it travels, or sorry, excuse me, the amount of distance that it travels in a 20-minute interval.
But there you go. It's actually, that's the actual point, that time, you know, there's, we have these two aspects that are inseparable. time and also space, you know. Therefore, we call the watch SpaceTime. And then, you know, if you have a watch that's called SpaceTime, C-3PO is not far. We have our golden watch here, and we didn't do that for a long time. Really, like a yellow gold watch, and here it's also not like a common yellow gold. It's actually a quite pale yellow gold, but it's inspired by the electrum. It's an alloy that the Greeks used, the ancient Greeks, to make the first coins. It's like a metal that looks actually slightly greenish in light, and so it's really has a very beautiful shine to it.
Stunning, man. And I love the size of it as well. It's also kind of cool because I know that Urwerk was born, you know, and really came to dominance from, I guess I started really in 2005 with the 103.03, and concurrent with when you launched Opus 5 for Harry Winston. And we went through an entire era of kind of bigger watches, but it's really nice to be able to see that your traditional complication fits very well into a wearable size watch also, and a very elegant kind of slim watch too. So yeah. Very cool, man.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying my best. Hey, we do cool watches, you know, we do work.
Exactly. You definitely do. So, Martin, I want to thank you very much for joining us. I want to wish you a happy continuation to Geneva Watch Days. Can't wait to join you guys again. And thank you so much for the creative energy, man. We love what you guys do.
You're welcome.
Take care, brother.
Bye, man.
Bye-bye.